a troop that has that essence, like cavalry.
And maybe to ask a basic question, what if my opponent kills that cavalry?
Then you can't do the magic. So.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. So if you're fighting someone, you kind of have to like weigh the pros and cons of what to kill off.
Hello.
You want to destroy their magic or their powerful troops.
Where can people go to get more information? And as always, when's it coming out?
Late 2020.
Oh, it's quite a ways off.
It's quite a ways off, but you can go to songsofconquest.com and sign up for alpha, and then you can play earlier.
Well, as you know, I'm really looking forward to playing it, Carl. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Now, our next title is an update to a popular co-op game. Let's see what's in store for Vermintide 2.
Ooh. All right, a heads up, chat. Full disclosure. I feel like today is gonna be a really fucking weird stream. We'll see how long I stream. I just wanted to hop on because I forgot E3 was right now. Here we go. I feel like Vermintide was a good game, but it still felt like it was in beta when I first played it. Oh, okay. I see where they're going. Also, no alerts during stuff.
You just saw the reveal of the new PvP mode coming to Vermintide 2, which turns the Warhammer Fantasy cooperative game into something even more brutally competitive. It looks deliciously vile, and surely dismembering Skaven is so much more satisfying.
I'm pretty surprised they decided to go down the versus route, actually. I don't think, and Left 4 Dead, in these genres, I don't think that's the most popular game mode.
At vermintide2.com/versus. In Per Aspera, you're an artificial consciousness orbiting Mars, whose ultimate purpose is to terraform the planet, starting from a single drone in your landing site and turning the planet into a flourishing second home for humanity. Courtesy of developer Talon Industries and publisher Raw Fury, here's a first ever look at Per Aspera.
As we all know, reaching the Red Planet was not humanity's greatest achievement. Transferring the complexity of the human mind to machines was. So they can succeed where we failed. So they can build us a home on that distant, dusty rock. Today, Amy reaches Mars and begins their mission. Amy, are you with us?
Of course, I'm with you, Houston.
Ooh, I would like this game. Is this like a logistics Factorio, but in space in a sci-fi setting?
In the Assassin's Creed universe, our next guest sent players back in time to rewrite history. But for his debut project with indie studio Panache Digital Games, he's going to take us back 10 million years to where humanity began. Here to tell us all about ancestors is creative director and co-founder Patrice Désilets. Welcome, Patrice.
Thank you for having me. I'm really happy to be here. I've been waiting 10 years to come back on a big stage at E3 showing off a game.
Well, it's fantastic to have you back. I just want to ask, what inspired you to tell the story of human evolution?
Well, when I started Panache, I needed a game, an open world game in which you can do a lot of things. You need a character in a 3D environment at first. And I said, oh, I'm the historical guy, I'm the historical dude, so I need an historical period. So I said, oh, let's go back at the very beginning. It'll be easier to do, because I won't have to build a city, I won't have to build technology, and I was a bit naive, because we built Africa 10 million years ago. And that's not easy to build.
It doesn't sound easy. I mean, how have you turned those themes into gameplay?
Well, you
What's
play
up, early
our
chat?
last common ancestor, right, of all the big apes. And then you have to explore your environment, and eventually you expand your territory, you expand your clan, because you're not playing that one badass character. You play a group of badass character. And eventually you evolve into different species up until Lucy the Australopithecus roughly 2 million years ago.
I imagine our ancestors had a lot more issues to deal with than we do today. There's going to be a lot more dangers in this world, so tell me a bit more about those.
Well, it's all about from a prey to a predator. Basically, at the beginning of the game, everybody's there to kill you and devour you. And
What
basically
the
at
fuck?
the end, it's pretty much you, where you're the predator and everybody's afraid of you. And that's the idea of Ancestors, the Humankind Odyssey.
So, Patrice, ultimately, what is the key to evolving your clan successfully?
Curiosity, you need to explore, because, you know, I made game about characters and you needed to follow the story I wrote for you. This time, you're basically writing the story, right? There's no story per se inside. It's not about going and see mission givers. It's not about looking at the mini-maps and the little dots. It's about you, hey, Homo sapiens. Can you survive like our ancestors did? And that's the
I like
question
how they
I'm
go over the
asking
gameplay
players.
stuff,
It'll
but
be-
some of these,
For you to answer that question,
Resident
August
Sleeper.
27th,
Well,
like
I
it's
was
not.
gonna-
PC first.
I was going to ask you when we can see it, and you answered my question first. Thank you
Yeah,
so
I'm
much,
getting
Patrice.
good at this.
As Patrice says, Ancestors will be released August 27th, and you can learn more at ancestorsgame.com.
Thank you.
Epic Game Store. Woo! Whoa, Shenmue 3. Wait, was that? I guess they announced this when I wasn't looking. I haven't been watching for a couple hours. I don't know how long it's even been happening. It just got announced a few minutes ago. Oh, okay. That game looks so damn pretty, this one. Some of those stylistic games look so cool. All right. Who wants to play Chivalry when Mordhau's out, though? That's the real thing. What? Is this auto chess? Is this the official auto chess in China? It's on the Epic Game Store in China. I didn't even know they were in China. I guess I should have expected this.
Loring Lee, founder and CEO of Dragon Nest.
Dragon Nest.
Auto
Holy
chess
shit.
has turned out to be a sensation with hundreds of thousands, millions of players getting a taste of it. And here to talk about it's coming to PC is Loring Lee. Take it away, Loring.
Coming to
Hello,
PC, by the way.
I'm Loring Lee. Yeah. Hello. Yeah. I'm the CEO and founder of Dragon's Game. Dragon's Game is a game developer and publisher, comes from China. I'm so happy to be here today on this stage to introduce our game, Auto Chess, to all of you. This is really an exciting moment for us. As the trailer says, this is a real engaging game of auto chess. Dragon's Den now is working with the creator of auto chess, Johto Studio. We are working together to bring auto chess to a world, both on PC and mobile, so that everyone from anywhere with any device can enjoy the same fun of auto chess. Now we are building the PC version with by using the game engine of Unreal Engine 4. As everyone knows, Unreal Engine is one of the best game engines of the world. With the help of Epic Games and by the power of Unreal, I believe we can finish our job quickly and efficiently. And today, I'm very glad to announce the PC version of Auto Chess will be coming to the Epic Games Store. I look forward.
Epic Games Store, Unreal Engine.
To all of you playing Auto Chess on PC later this year. Okay.
Later this year, okay.
Thank you, Loring Lee.
Chat.
Cool.
Does anyone?
Thanks so much for sharing the news with us. Once again, Auto Chess, if you have not played it, you must check it out. It is so fun. Our next
Auto Chess is so
title,
popular, but chat,
Frankie up above,
they already.
It is an inspired indie game.
We'll find
Chat,
out.
Riot
One
one
of
up
things
them.
we
That was
love
the
about
official
PC
Auto
games
Chess
is that the
announcement,
game creators
but
from all over
Riot
the
has
world
already announced
can
their
draw
Auto Chess.
inspiration from
So.
one another's work. Chris Tales is a great example of that. A gorgeous indie love letter to classic JRPGs developed by a team in Colombia. Chris Tales' spin on the genre brings a unique perspective that lets you see the past, present, and future on one screen at the same time. So you'll see the future change based on your decisions in real time. Here's the world exclusive reveal of Chris Tales.
I actually don't like them introing games. I like just being surprised because it looks cooler.
If you saw what was, what is, and what would be. If you knew how it ends. Would you change it? Could you make the hard decisions? And would you be strong enough to fight?
What the fuck?
If you learn from the past and act in the present, you can rewrite the future.
It's very pretty.
In PC gaming, it's not the size of your weapon, it's how you use it.
Oh,
and I'm
okay.
holding one of the, well, quite frankly, it's a bit average, isn't it? It's just your average, you know, Glock, really. No, it's one of the ridiculous alien weapons from our next game, Valfaris, a brutal, heavy metal-infused 2G action platformer inspired by true old-school classics like Contra and Turrican. Assuming the role of fearless warrior Therion, players must blast and slash their way through the doomed citadel of Valfaris, overcoming its deadly environments and enemies before challenging the arcane evil at its very heart. Get ready to rip the galaxy a new wormhole. From publisher Big Sugar, this is Valfaris.
What?
Just incredible action in the Valporis trailer. I'm very excited for our next guest. In case you have not been in downtown LA, E3 is covered with Borderlands 3 art. It's amazing, it's beautiful. And joining me is the amazing and beautiful Paul Sage, creative director of Borderlands 3.
Ooh.
Beautiful the new one, thanks. Yeah, there you go, Paul. Welcome. I mean, there's been so much hype around Borderlands 3. What's the stuff you're really excited to be sharing this year at E3?
Oh man, so we've talked about our Vault Hunters. Well, this time we get to talk about Moze, and she is our gunner Vault Hunter, so she has a big mech, so it's one of the things. All about loot. We're talking about, the different loot, such as shields, grenades, those things, going to different planets, so a lot of stuff to talk about.
Well, I mean, I want to start right off with Moze. Tell us everything you can about her.
Okay, yes, I'll tell you everything I can. So Moze, again, like I said, she's a mech pilot. She has this big mech, it's called Iron Bear. She gets into Iron Bear. Yeah. We have multiple action skills, which means that she can equip either a minigun or a railgun or a flamethrower. If you want to barbecue your enemies, something like that.
Oh, so, nice.
Mix and match. Yeah, Moze is a terrifically fun character for us right now.
Now, we've been excited to be collating a whole bunch of community questions. We're going to break them into two categories. First, there's a whole bunch of repeat questions that I want to make sure we get to right now. One of the big categories is about loot, because you've mentioned having a billion guns earlier, but what can you tell us about some of the other gear, the other progression systems in the game?
Yeah, so let's talk about grenades, like one of my favorite things that we don't get to talk about a lot. So in the past, we've had grenades that they've had like one thing, they can bounce, they can stick to different things, This time we're combining like all of those things. So for instance, the other day I was playing and I threw a grenade and that grenade had a bounce, it would stick, an explosion would come out, and the grenade would fire guns as it was going through, right? So we have like a ton of different grenades that are in there.
Hello, did my internet just go out?
Shield, where if you duck, that shield. Tons of different things that we have with our characters. Class mods.
What the fuck?
Are unique, and that they give you skills this time as well as enhancing skills you currently have.
I also remember earlier you mentioned about artifacts. What are
No, people are saying
so
it's not me.
Artifacts are, we've kind of concentrated on like, hey, does the game feel fluid? Can I, slide into things? Can I jump? Can I mantle?
Why are Gearbox so scuffed? It's not even, they're at E3. It's not even on them this time.
Well, that's kind of fun.
I mean, it wasn't on them last time either.
Something like that. So our artifacts actually add certain things to movement. So for instance, you can slide faster. You can slide, and every time you slide, there's an explosion. We have something we call.
No, stop! Gearbox, stop being cursed right now. Gearbox, please.
Category of questions unrelated to loot. Well, there's going to be a single-player campaign.
Also, is Flak that popular? It was winning the vote by such a long shot.
Beyond the single-player, maybe end-game you can talk about.
All right, in-game content. Okay, well, it's E3, so I give a little bit. So we have this thing what we call the Guardian system. So for those people who played Borderlands before, you might remember Badass Ranks. Badass Ranks, you can get, is basically kind of an infinite progression system that added to your stats.
Yeah, I just put them in random spots.
We have what we call Guardian Rank. And Guardian Rank not only has that infinite progression, but it has skills and different skins that you can open up as you go through. And the cool thing about that is like every character that you play on that account gets the benefits of Guardian Rank.
Oh, interesting. All right, last category we're going to go through, and then we're going to hit some rapid-fire questions. How do the boss fights in Borderlands 3 compare to Borderlands 1 and 2? I know those were big aspects. How do you build upon that?
Right, so I think of a boss fight, like I'm an old school Nintendo fan, right? So I love huge boss fights that have like three phases and stuff like that. So now those people, smart people in the audience know that we've talked about going to vaults instead of vault, right? And so
it's
there are like huge boss encounters there that are just multi-phase boss encounters. We have like a lot of different mini bosses throughout the game, so a lot of different boss encounters throughout the game.
Well, now I want to ask some really quick questions that should be yes or no, very brief. First from Castore, how will you be handling multiplayer?
Multiplayer, we will basically be allowing anybody to jump in at any time. So
awesome. From MHL Animations, can I pet the gun? Great question.
I'm not here to judge what you do with your gun, so that's a personal question.
All right, great. Sam Wiseman asks, is Maya's new companion a siren?
People are asking the right questions. That's what I will say about that.
Oh, you tease.
Sorry.
All right, from Ironic Sanguine says, is Tiny Tina going to be seen fighting alongside the Vault Hunters?
Yes.
Nice. All right, I'm just going to blast through a couple more as fast as I possibly can. Right. What's the level cap at launch?
50.
Will we get to see Flak?
Yes.
Will we see golden keys and or shift codes for Borderlands 3?
Absolutely.
You mean Flak? What do you mean? Yes, of course you get to see Flak. What the fuck?
Other kinds of PvP?
Yes and no.
And also maybe.
And
perfect.
Maybe, yeah.
And will you be able to transfer weapons between your characters?
Absolutely, right from the start.
Perfect. And when is the damn game coming out?
Friday the 13th, 2019, September 13th.
Perfect.
I am excited. For just over 3 months, chat. We're so close.
Thanks so much for joining me on stage.
Sean, thank you.
Once again, if you have not seen all the setups in downtown Borderlands 3, they're beautiful. Our next game, we're going to be revisiting a guest that we saw earlier in the show. He's upstairs with Frankie. What you got for us?
Oh, hi, we're live. Sorry. Hello, I was just, I was actually testing out my outfit for this weekend. I don't know, what do you think, John?
I think you look really sharp, as always.
Very sharp. Well, thank you so much. John Gibson, president of Tripwire, thank you for joining us again on the show.
Yeah, very
busy
here.
man, yes.
Yes.
Now, last year, we revealed Man-Eater to the world. And can you remind anyone who missed it what the game's all about?
Absolutely. Man-Eater is an open-world action RPG, or Shark PG as we call it. You start as a small baby shark pup, and you have to survive in this harsh world and try to eat your way to the top of the ecosystem. The 3 words that we think sum the game up the best are eat, explore, and evolve. And we also have someone we'd like you to meet.
Well, let's meet him then. Let's take a look at the new trailer.
Hands up, boys.
Come any closer with that camera, we two gonna tussle.
Please. No. Oh, come on. Not even gameplay. Feels bad, man.
Who was that appallingly dressed fisherman in the trailer? Because quite frankly, not even I would eat him.
That was Scaly Pete. And Scaly Pete's the villain in this tale. Pete is a best fisherman in the Gulf, the best shark fisherman, or he'll tell you he's the best shark fisherman. And he disfigures our baby shark at the beginning of the game and does some really nasty things. So he's not a very nice guy. And now the story of Man-Eater is told through the lens of a reality show called Shark Hunters versus Man-Eaters. And it follows Pete and the player shark on its adventures. And you know, it's a really, you know, it's a very exciting way to tell a story.
And based on that trailer, to be honest, John, it looks like your main goal of the shark is to just bite everything.
Yeah, there is an awful lot of man-eating going on in this game. That is the name of the game. And but we'd like to think of the game as a shark-tastic fun action game. It's like GTA if you were a shark. But there's there is more to the game than just eating. So we spent a lot of time moving through the water, breaching out, and adding abilities to go up on the beach for an afternoon snack. There's a lot of exciting things that you can do in the game.
And you mentioned before it's a Shark PG. How does that progression system work?
So there's 3 facets to the Shark PG elements of the game. There's growth, there's life
Shark
phases,
PG.
and there's evolutions. So growth comes about through eating things, nutrients, people, whatever you can find. And that's kind of like your XP in the game. That allows you to level up, your shark will grow a little bit, you'll get more powerful. And then at key phases that we call life phases, you'll make a big jump. So let's say you're a brooding teenage shark, and you're about to become an adult. When you become an adult, you take a big leap in size, a big leap in power and capability. And then as you reach these life phases, you unlock evolutions that can be applied to parts of the shark's body. For example, you could get metallic teeth that allow you to shrink boats, or a powerful tail that allows you to jump to incredible heights, or you could get mutated lungs that allow you to spend a little more time on the beach getting those afternoon snacks.
Just really quickly, John, everyone's wanting to know this question. When's it coming out?
So we're really hard hammerheading away at this game and trying to make it the most awesome shark RPG ever. We're not ready to announce a date, but we're pretty certain you're going to see it before the next PC gaming show.
Well, I hope we do, John. Otherwise, I'm going to have to start biting people. In fact, I'm quite hungry at the moment, so I think actually I'm going to find an audience member because you guys look tasty. So I'll see you in a bit. I'm just going to have a snack. Thank you, John.
Oh, thank you.
So wait, what? They showed up 2 years in a row now without a release date? Feels weird, man. Is this one of those like racing chairs that just isn't very comfortable? Why are the gaming chairs? Oh god. Okay, I don't know. It's literally called racing in the.
You know, one of the absolute best parts about being sponsored by iWin for the PC Gaming Show is that I get to sit for this next segment and talk to you about Terraria. Terraria is one of the best-selling PC games of all time, selling almost 30 million copies.
I'm just dumb.
And part of the reason why it's maintained such popularity is the fact that the developers Relogic continue to add content, going from 250 items at release to now over 4,000. Let's take a look at their penultimate expansion coming up, Terraria Journey's End.
Oh, he corrected himself. I wasn't wrong. Wait, what? I don't know everything they're adding. I've never played Terraria, but Terraria is an amazing game, so. No. Hello? They fucked it up again? E3, hello?
The next title that we're going to be looking
I've never been baited harder. I want to see what
spiritual successor to
Terraria,
her story.
hello?
It's called Telling Lies by Annapurna Interactive, and joining me to talk about it is game director Sam
It's like
Barlow,
Terraria. It's like they just the check
Logan
bounced or
Marshall
something,
Green.
and they're just
Welcome,
like, pull the trailer.
Yeah.
Terraria looks sick though.
If you haven't played Her Story, you totally should. It's fantastic. I want to note, it is a game where you watch live interactive video in order to uncover what happened with a murder. What is it that's going on in Telling Lies? What's the premise?
So, like Her Story, Telling Lies is a game in which you watch video footage to piece together a story. And this time we have a woman who has stolen an NSA hard drive, which contains secretly recorded intimate and private conversations between our four characters. Something has gone terribly wrong, and it's up to you to figure out what and why.
It's time to take a look at some of the gameplay mechanics and see Telling Lies in action. Let's take a look.
Once upon a time.
It's late. I gotta get her in the bath.
I don't love you and I don't miss you.
You already know too much. It's late. I gotta get her in the bath. Love you. Love you.
Oh, that's...
I've only ever been in love once. It was with a girl.
It's searching the rest of the recordings.
That I was too young and naive to handle it properly. And I guess I still carry a torch for it, which makes me an incurable romantic or underdeveloped emotionally.
Wait, I can be a stalker in this game.
A man died in my eyes.
Sam, I got some questions for you about what we've just seen. I mean, talk to me about the mechanics. I mean, I saw, the subtitles up, highlighting, and it was loading more video footage. What's going on?
So what we do in Telling Lies is we take all of the exploration you would have in a normal video game. So all that walking around in a 3D world.
Yeah.
And we apply that directly to the story, to the footage itself. So you're going to be scrubbing around in these clips, paying close attention, and you're going to be picking up on the subtext, listening to names, people, places. And with that information, you're going to use that to find more clips, dig into those, and over time kind of build up this picture of the story. And it's truly like an open world video game.
Well, I mean, a lot of times with open world video games, they talk about, the square kilometerage or miles in America. What's the sort of scope that we're talking about? Like, how many hours of footage is there?
So we got
hours of footage.
Over 10 hours of footage here.
Wow,
so
really?
It's a story that encompasses like 2 years.
I don't get it.
What I wanted to do with this
How
one
can
was,
you
like I
say
said, really
it's an
embrace
open world
this
video
idea
game?
of it being an open
You're
world
literally
game.
watching
You're free to explore
videos,
and
aren't you?
follow your curiosity. Just lose yourself in this story.
Yeah.
All the characters. It's this huge, messy, colorful story that we're trying to tell.
Well, I'm curious, Logan, as a performer in this kind of game, what is it like to actually try to have all the layers in there for each performance, also not knowing when a player is going to be seeing the specific footage you're performing?
Well, it's definitely a non-linear open world game, but our approach and Sam's approach was
I don't get it. Why do they keep using these
not
words? What does it
unlike a
mean?
movie or
Am
a
I
TV
dumb?
show, and we had to understand it A to B. And so for the most part, that's how we shot it. Obviously, when you're shooting a movie or a TV show, and in this case, a game, you're going to be shooting out of order. But we actually stayed pretty linear in how we approached the story. And we went after it like all the other times we're actors. We just went after intention. And
It means you can explore in your own direction. And why say it's non-linear?
And we tried to make it
Open world is not what this means. They're just full of shit. Stop using that word. I'm
We
triggered.
wanted to make it as deep as possible, and Sam is one of the best movie or TV directors I've worked with, so it was very similar.
Nice. Yeah, look at you.
Open world is like Just
Now, of course, I
Cause,
do wanna
Grand
stress
Theft
to any
Auto.
of you, if you have not played Her Story, it's
No,
quick to
not
play
this
through.
game.
It's absolutely brilliant. Please check it out in the meantime. But we're, of course, waiting to find out, when can we play Telling Lies?
Very soon. Very soon, I promise. We'll have a date soon. Right now, you can go
Seagull,
to
they're
Steam,
telling lies.
wish list on
Oh,
Steam. We all have
shit.
Steam. And yeah, very soon. We'll be showing a little bit more during E3, and the game will be out, very soon.
Fantastic.
Dude, what if it was that meta?
As soon as humanly possible. Well, Sam Logan, thanks so much for joining me on stage. Once again, Telling Lies. Now, up on the balcony, Frankie's going to be talking to us about a game that my friends, year after year after year, keep telling me I have to play because of how much they've improved it. Frankie, what's going on with Warframe?
One of my favorite parts of last year's show, aside from being upstaged by a giant duck, was getting a glimpse at the future of Warframe. And here with the latest look at the next expansion to the universe is
Show me.
Space Mum Rebecca Ford. So, chat, behave yourselves, please, because Mother's here. Now, Rebecca,
Space Mom
what are we
Pond.
about to see?
We're going to take a look at an amazing trailer that our team has put together. A lot of our players have been waiting a year for a look at what we've been calling Railjack, so it's about time to, see what we've been doing.
Yeah, let's take a look.
I'm so ready. July 6th. That's Tenacon? Oh. Necros Prime? Okay, I'll watch.
Rebecca, it must be so exciting to know that the fans have finally seen it, and you're clearly going all in on the epic space combat. So tell me about the new stuff that players are going to be able to experience.
I wasn't shaking before we started talking, and now I am because it's real, because, you know, Empyrean is what we're calling codename Railjack. It's basically taking the Space Ninja part of Warframe, sending it back up to space, bringing players that squad gameplay they know, taking the enemies like the Corpus and the Grineer, giving them their own Railjack to essentially explore the solar system with and take down the bad guys.
And when are fans going to get to see more?
Well, TennoCon is in London, Ontario. It's July 6th, and you can come watch it online on Twitch. We're going to be showing a lot more in our keynote for what Empyrean is going to be.
Well, today I'm getting a feel for the suit, so what's the deal with that sweet-looking Necros Prime? How do I get my Tenno arms into it?
I cannot say that on live television, but you know, there are ways. But yeah, you just have to link your Warframe account to your Twitch account. If you watch 30 minutes of our Tenno live show, you can get it, but hopefully you stay for the whole hour, because we got lots to show.
Well, thank you so much, Rebecca, and good luck with TennoCon on July 6th.
Thank you.
Okay, now we've seen some amazing stuff today, but nothing quite so gloriously strange as our next game. Developed by Brooklyn-based studio Feral Cat Den, it's an existential space chat odyssey set during the Big Bang. Yeah, it's actually blown my mind learning about this one. Buckle up, everyone, because we're about to get bonkers with Genesis Noir.
Huh. Holy shit. What is happening? It looks cool. These devs must be... When you drink too much G Fuel.
Genesis Noir, just beautiful, stylish art. The next game we're going to take a look at is the twist on the stealth genre. It's called El Hijo, where you play as a 6-year-old trying to escape a monastery and find your mother using toys and tricks to avoid monks. Let's take a look at this gorgeous spaghetti western inspired project from Studio Handy Games.
Roll! It looks pretty. Huh. Remind me of another game.
Once again is the title of the trailer we just saw. For our final guest tonight, please join me in welcoming from Larian Studios CEO Sven Vinke, and from Dungeons & Dragons at Wizards of the Coast, the creative director of Dungeons & Dragons, Mike Mearls, to talk about Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah.
Holy shit,
now,
it's
this
time.
was only just recently announced. How did this partnership come about?
We went to see Wizards of the Coast at the end of Divinity Original Sin 1.
Yeah.
That was back in 2014. And I tried to convince them back then that they should give us the Baldur's Gate 3 license. But we had a long chat about what the vision would be for the game. And then we kept on bumping into each other. And then suddenly in 2016, I get a phone call from Nathan Stewart, who's the big boss of Mike and the head of Dungeons and Dragons. He said, you need to come to Seattle right away. We're going to have dinner in a very shady restaurant. And he had this big stack of paper with him. And on it was Baldur's Gate 3. And in it was pretty much everything that we talked about. And he says, I'm going to present this to my board. Do you still want to do it? I said, yeah, of course I still want to do it. And then a couple of weeks later, we started negotiating. And here we are.
I mean, what does the Baldur's Gate franchise mean to you, Mike?
Oh, to me, it's the crown jewel of D&D computer games, right? I mean, for me personally, Baldur's Gate, the original one, was finally I had the chance to actually play a D&D campaign rather than having to run them for all my friends. So it means so much to us. Baldur's Gate, it's such fantastic storytelling, and it's so exciting to see it come to not only a new generation of gamers, but for the gamers who remember the 20 years it's been since the original, the first two in the series. So it's incredibly exciting. And for us, it really is. It's such an important part of the D&D mythos as a whole.
And we got a chance to see the trailer. Talk to me about some of the story elements, the world elements. What are things we're going to see in Baldur's Gate 3?
Well, we're only talking about what's in the trailer right now, but obviously you're going to go to the city, because we start with the city. You start outside of the city, actually. There's going to be mind flayers. They're very nasty. You are seeing in the trailer the process of ceremorphosis, as we call it. It's accelerated, so that's not normal.
Yeah.
And you're going to see a lot of iconic creatures, iconic characters, iconic places, and that's as far as we go.
I'm curious about some of the gameplay elements, because obviously, there's just been a big resurgence of Dungeons and Dragons, tons of broadcasts on Twitch. I mean, how do you translate some of the insane things that players want to do into, what has to be a structured computer game?
So we started with the player handbook, which is basically the basic rule set of Dungeons and Dragons.
Which player handbook? Which
Fifth edition.
Right. Yeah.
And so we ported as much as we could to the video game. We looked at what works really well. We looked at the things that didn't work that well, because it is a video game, and this was made for tabletop gaming. And so we started modifying those things, and then we had to add things on top of it, because if you play tabletop, you have a game master, and you say, well, I want to do this.
Yeah.
And then the game
I want to
master
start a fight with a pigeon, and he's like, okay, roll for dexterity.
Exactly, that's it. So we had to add systems to make that possible within the game. But we've gone very, very far.
Yeah, I mean, can you give an example of like a crazy moment that a player might do that you could actually play out in the game?
Well, I could, let's say that we get into a fight because you ask a nasty question, I don't want to answer it. And I take the chair over there, I put it on fire, smash it on your head. Just as an example.
That's just an example, it's fine, we're just talking,
These are things that we have to put systems into the game for to do it, which are not necessarily going to be described inside of the book.
Interesting. And I mean, like, Mike, in terms of your role, speaking to Larian Studios, you have tons of data of all the sorts of things that players do. What's the sort of information that you provide in assistance?
Well, really what it comes down to is providing the story support. We think of Dungeons & Dragons, the universe of D&D. It's like a toy box for dungeon masters and players to go into and build their own stories. So working with Larry and working with Sven, a lot of it was just opening up that toy box and sharing it and giving that kind of guidance. Like I remember one of our first meetings, we just laid out a map of Baldur's Gate and the Sword Coast and asking a lot of questions like, what kind of story do you want to tell? Where do we want to go? What are the cool locations we've always wanted to put into a game like this? And then in terms of the system support, what does it mean in terms of the story for each character?
Skyrim got owned.
For each character race, each character class, so that if you have your favorite class and it's in the game,
chat, you
really
can't vote
feel
here,
like
chat.
You're taking on that role that you love so much from the tabletop. It's really coming to life in an authentic way in Baldur's Gate 3.
And we're going to talk in a moment about Baldur's Gate 3 release dates and whatnot, but we have a second game that we want to talk about on a new technology known as pencil and paper. I understand that there is a tabletop prequel coming for Baldur's Gate.
Exactly. So in Baldur's Gate, we think there's one saga, all the different games coming together to tell one grand story of this city. So on September 17th, we're releasing our next tabletop campaign, Baldur's Gate, Descent into Avernus. And it is the next chapter in the Baldur's Gate saga.
Right.
And it's a prequel to Baldur's Gate 3. So if you haven't played a Baldur's Gate game since Baldur's Gate 1 or 2, this is your chance to check out on the history. It's been about 100 years since the events of Baldur's Gate 2.
Yeah.
So this will give you a chance to check in on the city, to see what's going on, its current state, who the movers and shakers are. We also feature a complete levels 1 to 13 campaign that takes you from the mean streets of Baldur's Gate to the depths of hell itself. And sort of pose to the players a question: do you want to redeem Baldur's Gate or send it to damnation? So we're putting that right in players' hands to make that choice.
Well, I have
Damnation,
to ask
boys.
a lot of people's minds. What can you talk to us about expected release time frames?
So people have been waiting for it for a long time.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're going to have to wait a little bit more.
Sucks.
When it's ready. This is the game that we want to play, so we want to make sure it's really, really good. And then when that's the case, then we'll release it.
Well, I know a lot of people have been waiting a long time, and I think I speak for a lot of people here when I say, take your time. If the Divinity Original Sin games are any indication of the quality, it's going to be fantastic and worth the wait. Gentlemen, thanks so much for joining me on stage.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ben and Mike talking about Baldur's Gate 3. Goodbye. Goodbye, guys. Why are they leaving? Well, it's because the PC gaming show has officially concluded. Let's bring up on the stage the fantastic Frankie Ward. Come here, Frankie.
Hello. Well, thank you so much, Sean. Hasn't this audience been absolutely fantastic today?
So what?
Guys, thank you so much for coming out to the 5th annual PC Gaming Show.
Chad, I didn't watch most of this.
All of you who tuned in live. We want to, of course, thank all of you who personally showed up this morning. And, of course, the sponsors who helped make this possible. Epic Game Store, iWin, Frontier, Funcom, Paradox, Interactive, Hovercast, Perfect World, Rebellion, Tripwire, and Samsung. As you know, PC gaming is a platform. It's not a publisher or developer, so these sponsors
Did I miss
are
anything?
For letting us
They fucked
put
up
on this show
Terraria.
every year. Thank you so much. And I gotta ask, Frank, any titles you're excited about?
Well, I do love a baby elephant, so definitely
Skateboard.
Planet Zoo, and slightly more awkwardly, then I
God damn
also
it.
want to eat things, maybe elephants included, so man-eater, of course.
I'm personally looking forward to Songs of Conquest, and as you heard, there's games coming out all across 2019 and into 2020. We hope you all have a fantastic E3. It officially begins tomorrow. Big shout out to all the other press conferences. Hello again, Drop Frames. Good to see you 2 years in a row. We hope you all have a fantastic time at E3 and go play some games and make some friends. See you next year. Bye.
Thank you so much. Goodbye.
That's awesome. All right. Did anything cool happen at all, chat? We saw apparently Vampire the Masquerade 2 got announced, which I played the first one. Most of it, I think. I don't know if I beat it. No, not really? Okay. It didn't. People were. Okay, I succumbed to peer pressure in pre-stream chat because I woke up late and I didn't eat food, I didn't do shit. And I went to pre-stream chat, they're like, Seagull, where are you? Ah, it's so Eagle. And I was like, oh fuck, I forgot E3 was on this morning. And so I logged on, but now I'm just disappointed. I hope Ubisoft's announcement's good.
When my father saved my life,
What is this?
He told me never to forget who I am, where I come from.
Is this Dying Light 2? Oh, it's Dying Light 2. Yeah.
But in this place, nobody even wants to know my name. Getting attached is deadly.
Okay.
Because when darkness comes, I might be gone.
When is Ubisoft, chat? We've already seen this trailer, but I should probably keep watching it for people who haven't.
Virus tore society
1 hour.
apart,
Okay,
but I
what are we
won't
doing for 1 hour?
into an end.
Chat, I haven't even like done any. I need to get like food, shower, you know, like basic things.
Staying
How about?
alive became
Okay.
the essence of our existence. Yet life must be more than just survival.
I'm gonna go AFK and log off and be back in 30 minutes or 40 minutes. Then turn on my fucking
Every day,
webcam.
the disease tries to crush us and make us forget who we are, but I keep fighting.
How many?
My name is Aiden, and I am infected.
Hi, Aiden. I am infected. That's a jammer. Okay, E3 countdown. So how much stuff is happening today, chat? Let me see this. Wait. We have this, and then we have Square Enix later tonight. These two are the ones I'm hyped for the most. Nintendo, not too... Like, I usually don't care as much unless you're going hardcore on PC games. So I'm going to go take a shower. I'm going to poop, Gonna get some food. I'm gonna chill. We're gonna watch Ubisoft, and then apparently there's AMD at 3 p.m. Pacific. Okay, cool. We'll watch that at 3 p.m. Sounds good, chat. I'll be back in like 40 minutes. Okay? Sound good? I was not prepared to start my stream today. I apologize for being a fucking unprofessional mess. I will see you in 40 minutes. You do that all at the same time? Yeah, I fucking waffle stomp that shit down the drain. Peace out, chat. Be right back in 40 minutes.